All right, guys, it's the weekend. It is Friday, April 24th, and the day is over, which means week 5 is over, which means it's the weekend. And I'm feeling good as hell. We're going to give folks some time to get in the room, so we'll let them stroll in. You guys make sure you get something in your glass. Y'all know the drill. If you've been here before, drop in the comments. Let us know where you're located, what you're drinking, and 3 stars if you're a first timer. We want to shout you out. What's up, Crystal? First in the comments today. What are you drinking, Crystal? Woo, Sarah in San Antonio drinking some Pet Nat. Man, I haven't had that Pet Nat in a minute. I need to get some of that. Jamie, what's up in Fort Worth drinking the Wanderer Series. Jeffrey, good to see you again. Arlington drinking Winemaker Series Ground Control. I like it. I think that was a fan of or a favorite of a lot of our fans. Deborah drinking daiquiris in Justin, Texas. I haven't heard the name Justin, Texas in a while. Guys, as you know, we're letting folks get in the room. It's Friday. It's happy hour. We want this to be a big party, so we're going to give them a sec while we dance. We get something in our glass. We hop into the comments and let us know where you are, what you're drinking. First timers, throw 3 stars into the comments because we want to shout you out and welcome you. Terry, what's up? Drinking a Pet Nat and Haze. I like it. Ben, lime, grapefruit, and lemon vodka with a splash of rosé. Bro, what are you drinking? I have never heard of that combination, but maybe I need to know about it. Ugh. I say that with all hesitation. Erica, happy Friday indeed. Drinking some High Estate Malbec. You know what's up. We're going to be talking about that today. Leah with some White Claw. Leah, what are you doing? Say no to the claw, Leah. Say no. I'm just kidding, guys. Drink whatever you want. If it brings you pleasure, I'm all about it. Alta, happy Friday from Frisco. Cheers. Oh, you have cheese trays. I'm so jealous, guys. I got nothing in front of me. Woo, that song is over. I don't want it to end. This is going to be a really, I don't know. This is what do the kids say these days? Lit happy hour. I'm really stoked. We've got a really awesome happy hour. A lot of guests today. Some surprise guests that I think you'll be excited to see. Tommy, what's up in Fate? Mark in Brazoria. Tiffany drinking some Cinsault. Guys, I'm going to pull up some of our special guests to say hi as you guys file into the room. We're going to start it out with the one, the only, Rochelle. Rochelle, say hi, tell us where you are and what you're drinking.
Well, I'm on the balcony in Fredericksburg, Texas, outside my house, and I am drinking a 2016 Hunter. That wonderful Hunter. Got a shout out. My pink plus.
I love it. You guys know Hunter is a wine club favorite. So, and Rochelle is our wonderful wine club director. Rochelle, it's good to see your face. Let's bring up next Anne.
Hey, everybody. It is day 39 in Canyon Lake. It is Blur's Day, day 39. But it happens to be year 55 for my parents. So a little shout out to Marilyn and Don Ahern in Kiowa Island, South Carolina, celebrating their 55th anniversary. So cheers, Mom and Dad.
Guys, let's all raise a glass to 55 years of marriage. That's pretty incredible.
Without a murder. It's a great thing.
True story. I love that. All right. Next up, we have the fearless Anthony hanging out, I think, at the winery right now with 2 rosés or 2 wines. He's double fisting, but I've got him muted. We got to pull up his, where's his, let's see. Oh, you got to unmute yourself, bro. Let's see. Can I? Oh, no, if we don't
there
have.
There you go. How about now?
Anthony.
All right. So, guys, I'm 2-fisting it today. I've got my usual Mourvedre Carignan, and I've got something that just got bottled today that y'all are all going to find out about probably tomorrow. D, I know you're jealous.
I'm jealous and a little bit I'm not going to say angry, but jealous is probably, we'll just stick with jealous. It's a good descriptor. Yeah, I want a case of that wine, no doubt. And I don't buy cases of the same wine on the regular. You guys are going to be so stoked to learn about that wine. I'm not giving away any details. You're going to have to stay tuned. We've done a pretty special project with another special individual to, let's just say it's really apropos that Paul is going to be talking about Cinsault today. Thanks,
It's
Anthony.
delicious, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Okay, guys, let's say hi to a few other William Chris teammates. Savannah.
Hello, I am in Wimberley with my cute dog Jack. Hopefully y'all can see him. And I am drinking our Sangiovese Rosé from William Chris. And I also just want to give a shout out to my aunt from New Zealand who's on, and my grandmother from Canada. Yay!
Cheers to the international viewers of the William Chris Happy Hour. We love you. I know we've got another Canadian who's always on here, usually drinking really amazing cocktails, but I love to hear New Zealand and more Canada. It is a worldwide show now. Savannah, good to see your face. Guys, for those of you who don't know, Savannah is our wholesale director. She gets the wines into your grocery stores and restaurants, so you have access to our wines closer to home. So we're super thankful to have her on the team. I've got quite a few other people to say hi, so I'm still checking the comments. I see you guys. I see Jerry Lynn and Angela from Ohio. I see Lisa and Adele. Guys, it's so good to see all these faces. Let's pull up, because I think we're done with our teammates, some super fans and wine club members of ours that they've been on before, so you probably remember their faces. Marcus and Emily, say hi, guys. Let us know where you are and what you're drinking.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. We're in Georgetown, Texas. We are enjoying the 2015 High Estate Malbec. So,
nice. So same wine, just a couple vintages prior.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Man, I love that. Well, thank you guys for being back on today. It's good to see your faces, as always. We'll probably check back in a little bit later with y'all.
Awesome.
See you soon. All right, guys. It's time to let you in on a few things. First of all, we're going to bring up today's special guest to say hi. This is my buddy, Paul. We're going to talk about him quite a bit later. He's going to be leading the Wine Nerd section of today's episode. But, Paul, where are you and what are you drinking right now?
Hey, D, I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm sitting in my living room because it's way too hot outside. I got Snacks laying next to me.
Snacks!
Yeah, he's there. He's tuckered out still. And I'm drinking Mount Abora Cinsault from the South Africa.
I love it, man. Well, I'm stoked to jump in and talk specifically about that grape variety, and probably likely to talk about South Africa too. Thanks for joining us today. We'll pull you back up for the Wine Nerd section. See you soon.
Cool.
All right, guys. And without further ado, I have invited, and you're going to find out why a little bit later, 3 good friends of mine. And I'm going to pull all 3 of them on screen at the same time. And while they're going to go one by one to let us know where they are and what they're drinking, I just want to say I'm super thankful to have people like this that have been a part of my story, or still a part of my story, that were gracious enough to spend some time on Happy Hour today. Maybe let's start with the person who I met in high school, which is Sarah. Sarah, where are you and what are you drinking?
Howdy, I'm in Los Angeles, California, but I'm not a libtard. And I'm drinking a Sapporo because of D. D makes the beer look very good on a hot day. So cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining from LA. Next up, a friend that I met while in college, Ian Rock. Where are you? What are you drinking, buddy?
What's up? I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. And I am drinking a New Belgium Liquid Haze IPA.
Ooh.
Nice. Also with the beer. Well done. 2 out of 3 beer. And last but certainly not least, a friend that I met post-college, my friend Fabian, who goes by Fabs. Fabs, where are you and what are you drinking?
I am in Austin, Texas, and I am drinking water with electrolytes in it. See, none of your friends are drinking wine. We failed you.
Hey, it's totally okay. That's the spirit of Happy Hour, is just to get anything in your glass, mark the end of the day, log on and connect with people. This is really just about figuring out how to connect with folks in this crazy new world that we're living in right now. And you guys are like so in the spirit of that. So I appreciate the fact that you don't have wine, because it gives everybody else the freedom here to drink whatever they want to. So, guys, I'm going to bring you back up for a much more intimate conversation later. So I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you for being here. We love you. I love you. They will soon all love you once they get to know you better. Guys, it's so good. It's Friday. If you can't tell, like, I am stoked. I have so much energy. I had a crappy day yesterday. You probably heard I put my arm through a closed window. I broke a whole jar of pasta sauce on my floor. Today I got a piece of glass lodged in my foot from yesterday's escapades. But it doesn't matter. The weather's incredible. It's a Friday and this Malbec is delicious. So let's jump in. I'm still checking the comments. So if you jump in, if you're new here, I want to hear from you in the comments. But let's jump into what is D drinking today. I'm going to pull it up to the camera here so you can see it a little bit better. Malbec, High Estate Vineyard, Texas Hill Country. All right. And it is the 2017 vintage. So this wine comes right on the property where the winery is located. Has pretty typical, I would say, Malbec notes. It's darker fruited. Definitely fruit forward. This wine likely didn't see any new oak, and I kind of cheat because I actually know that this only saw neutral oak. Guys, everybody, let's take a drink. Cheers to the end of week 5. Cheers to the end of Friday, April 24th. Happy hour to everybody, wherever you are. It is a glorious day. Yep, guys, this is not even really the least bit tannic. Excuse me, I think I just spit all over my computer. My mouth is watering so much. That's a good tell for what? Acidity. We've talked about that. High acid wines make you salivate. Sorry for the extra salivation headed towards your screen. Good thing we're social distancing. And, you know, I think for me, this is all about the fruit. Honestly, it feels a little hot, but it's only 13% alcohol. So I'm going to go with like blackberry. You know, the high alcohol makes it feel a little bit peppery, but I don't think that that's the grape or the flavor. I think it's more about just a little extra burn in the chest that we all kind of like if you're a whiskey drinker or really just an alcohol drinker, period. Yeah, for me, this is just in its youth. Like right now, this is all about fruit, and that is okay, and that is delicious, and that is enjoyable. For food, and I love that you guys know what new oak versus neutral oak means now, right? So it used to be that you didn't know those things, but we had a wonderful guest earlier this week. Because it's neutral oak, you don't get a lot of the oak influence on the flavor and aroma. So this is really all about the fruit and the place it was grown and the weather for the year it was grown. Remember, 17 was that incredible vintage, perfect textbook growing in Texas. So we got the grapes exactly like we wanted them. Food-wise, guys, because, gosh, it's Friday, and I am not going to tell you, I just dropped way too much money to get an order from a local restaurant because I want to be supporting my industry folks. I've been craving a burger, and I got a double meat, double cheese, like fresh bun off the grill from Hestia in Austin that is like going to get delivered at 6 o'clock. So like in less than an hour after I'm done with happy hour. This would go great with a juicy burger. So like, let's not complicate things. When you have a fruit forward red wine like this, and it's just crushing it on the fruit side and it's younger, putting a greasy burger in front of it is just going to make both of the things sing. It's kind of like a dance in your mouth, and you need both partners to participate. The burger is going to be the lead, and the Malbec is going to follow very well. It's going to be not those awkward people who dance with you that try and lead you when you're leading them. Y'all know a good two-stepping, right? Like you got to have a leader and a follower. So that's the way it works. So this is a perfect Texas two-step, our high Malbec with a really juicy burger. And honestly, like, I can't wait for that. If you want to get a little more bougie on this, Parmesan crusted pork chops. I'm going to say that again. Parmesan crusted pork chops. You can do that at home. It's not that hard. You've got some extra time. Look up a recipe. Pan-seared ribeye. You can't go wrong with a nice piece of meat. Pan-sear it. And then on the cheese side, I'd probably go on the Gorgonzola. I'm a blue cheese fan. And I think the funkiness is going to pair really nicely with the fruitiness here. It's also got good acid to cut through a lot of the fat that you usually see. So Yum, guys. Let's cheers one more time. That's a lot of me talking about this Malbec and food. I'm so hungry. I don't know about y'all. Okay, that is the What is the D's drinking segment. It's time to bring back my buddy Paul. So, Paul, I'm coming for you. Before I turn it over to you completely, I want to give you a little bit of a proper introduction. Guys, also Lisa, you just said elk burger, and I hate you for that. Now you put that thought into my head. I'm so jealous. Elk burger sounds unbelievable. A buffalo burger. Guys, you need to stop with those burger variations in the comments because I'm going to be distracted and Paul is trying to teach. Okay, so
you just got me thinking about the Hestia burger now. I'm a one-track mind now.
Bro, true story, I still haven't had it. Today's gonna be my first time. I'm a Hestia burger virgin, and I've heard so many people, especially industry people, talking about this burger. It has an epic reputation, so I'm like over the moon that I'm drinking this and going to have that delivered to my house. So before Paul jumps in and shares and teaches us a little bit in the wine nerd section, I wanted to let you guys know Paul is in the industry here in Austin and Central Texas. He currently works for Parker Wolf Selections, which is a wine distributor. They also import some wines. The background that Paul has is pretty incredible. He's worked at wine bars and restaurants prior to working for them. Paul is an advanced sommelier with the Court of Master Somms and is currently studying towards his Master Sommelier. So talk about like credentialed, nerdy, knows his stuff. Lucky to have him, and just thankful that I get to share wine with him on the regular. You know, of course, pre-virus situation and hopefully post-virus situation, we'll be able to share in person. But dude, thanks for joining us today. I'm gonna drop a little prompt in the comments just so folks can see it and post questions if they have it. Paul's going to share with us about the Cinsault variety today. So I'm actually going to throw that on the screen so folks can see it. So Paul, first, before we jump into Cinsault, where are you originally from and how'd you get into wine?
Originally from Alabama, came out to Austin after finishing college in Nashville. Had some friends out here and just had always loved the city, and so figured this was the right place to start the next chapter. My father collected wine for a long time, so I guess I was introduced to it by him. And then when I moved to Austin, I started waiting tables again at a fun little restaurant off of Kirby Lane that's no longer there called Vin Bistro. And in order to wait tables at dinner, which was where all the money was to be made, you had to learn the wine list. So that was the next sort of catalyst. And as I started learning, I realized I was just falling in love with it, you know? So it was history from there.
I love that, man. And is this time providing a lot of study time? I know that you were already a pretty studious person when it comes to wine, because I know you've got quite the mountain of things ahead of you studying for your Master Somm. But are you still kind of grinding on the study side of things right now?
I'm trying to, but to be honest, it's almost, you know, at the beginning of this, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to have all this time. I can just study all day, every day, and like get ahead of my syllabus. And the opposite has actually happened, because I think it's really easy to be distracted right now. Just, you know, everyone's stressed and nervous and uncertain of the future. And so I am still studying, but I have slowed down a little bit, trying to, you know, get the wheels going again. I'm studying Greece right now, so that's super fun.
Wow, Greece has got a lot of esoteric stuff, man. I'll have to pick your brain about that later. Yesterday, was it Tony that was on yesterday? Was drinking the sparkling orange that everybody's feel like had.
The sparkling skin fermented Dabina from Glinavos. It's so good.
Yeah, I love that wine.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. So I know that we talked about this ahead. I'm super stoked to talk about this because we grow Cinsault. There's a special bottling coming that we're not going to talk too much about that's Cinsault related. So this is very relevant to Texas wine, specifically William Chris. And I know we're not the only ones in the world who are thinking about this grape. So I'm going to turn it over to you. like, first of all, like, why'd you pick Cinsault? Like, why go there? You could pick any topic I invited you on, and you were like, man, let's do Cinsault. Without talking about the special project that you know about.
Understood. Well, first off, my favorite wine from William Chris is your Cinsault. So that was sort of what planted the seed, if you will. And then I've been really interested in what is happening in a couple little corners of the world with this grape and the somewhat of a revival that we're seeing, particularly in South Africa, where arguably Cinsault is their most important grape up until about 1993, when plantings were surpassed with Cabernet Sauvignon, you know, the great intruder to basically every wine region in the world, because it's very adaptable and you can grow it in most climates and make a pretty good wine out of Cab, you know. And so we saw Cinsault really fall back in plantings, and certainly in the way it was regarded. A lot of it was being distilled and made into brandy. A lot of it was being sweetened, you know, for like grocery store wine. So long story short, there's a lot of fun, small artisan producers that are working with Cinsault now, not only in South Africa, but also in southern Chile, where it's seeing a similar sort of revival. And the idea is it's really drought resistant, so it can grow in like hot, dry climates. That kind of lends itself to dry farming, right? Which also sort of correlates with vine depth and sort of expression of minerality in the final wine. And I think Pinot Noir is probably my favorite grape on planet Earth, but really good Pinot Noir is very expensive. And I think Cinsault offers a very similar style of wine for like, I mean, the bottle that I'm drinking right now is like $15, you know, and it's killer. So, and it came all the way from South Africa, you know, and it's just like the value here is certainly part of the enjoyment of getting into this grape.
Yeah. I think you've hit on something really important there for me, which is like, you know, one, we have to start to think about varieties that, as weather changes, that are going to be more sustainable in the long run. And I think, you know, when you think about a variety like Cinsault that holds up well in warm climates, that's something we need to be talking about. And two, I love that you're a Pinot Noir fan, right? I think, especially with warm weather that we get so much in Texas, we need crushable reds. Yeah. Like I mean, I'm all about a quality Cabernet Sauvignon, but like a lot of the times a big hefty red outside in the sun can be rough. So I need these kinds of wines.
Yeah. And it's very popular and normal to drink these Cinsauts chilled. So to your point, I think given that we live in Austin, Texas, it's hot 9 months out of the year. Maybe you still want a glass of red wine. And these are, I would feel almost bad if I chilled down nice Pinot Noir, but I don't feel bad at all chilling down Cinsault. You know, I'll drink it ice cold.
Yeah.
And I think that, once again, that's part of it. It's climate driven. I drink more Pinot Noir and white wine and light bodied things now that I live in Texas than I ever did when I lived back in the South, you know? So
yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a great point. Like I always call Cinsault my boat wine, especially the William Chris version. So I'm with you. Like, let's throw it in the ice chest and just like crush it. You know, like Cinsault does that for you. We're gonna do a couple of quick fire questions here that folks have had in the comments. Dirk asked, "Where is Cinsault from originally?"
Yeah, so the first writings of it date to the 1600s, and those documents actually came from Italy. We don't really think of this grape as Italian, but it was historically grown on the island of Sicily, more importantly on Mount Etna, which is a super fun up-and-coming wine region right now, and also on the heel of Italy in Puglia under the name Ottavianello. We see it take its name Cinsault more recently in 1888. where it has been a significant blending grape in the south of France, most notably in Provence and the Languedoc and Roussillon. And then, as I mentioned, it was the most heavily planted grape in the country of South Africa up until 1993. So
Wow.
pretty recently.
Pretty recent. Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so one might argue that while it's not from South Africa, it has played the most significant role in the South African wine industry.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, to be completely honest, while South Africa is doing incredible things, I especially love the producer Craven. I think they're doing beautiful Cinsault. I've had some delicious ones. I haven't had the producer you showed earlier that you're drinking, but I really do believe that Cinsault has a pretty bright future here in Texas too. I'm very, very happy with the Cinsaults that I've had from multiple producers, including ourselves. But I think it's going to continue to be a part of the Texas wine industry going forward. So I love that. Let's get one or two others. I think Jeffrey might have been joking about this. He says, what Lebanese Cinsault would you recommend? I think he's trying to throw a curveball to, like, get you because you're so knowledgeable. I don't know a single name of a single Lebanese producer, so I think Jeffrey will just have to laugh at that one. You can take a shot if you actually know this.
Oh, easy, man. One of the most famous wines in the entire world, Chateau Moussard, makes up about a third of the blend, and is one of the reasons, actually, the Hochar family, or one of the reasons that grape has been so widely planted in Lebanon, is the success of their red wine blend. Some other ones that are available in Texas are Maysara, Cassara, Chateau Thomas. They all champion Cinsault in Lebanon. It's also the most widely planted grape in Morocco. So if you ever are there or are looking for Moroccan wines, they're probably made from Cinsault.
Guys, you heard it here. I don't know how many other wine professionals in the world would be able to answer a question like Lebanese Cinsault would you recommend? So props to you, Paul. Obviously, I know Chateau Moussard, their reputation precedes them. I didn't know Cinsault was such a huge part of their blend.
Yeah, I mean, the blend is Cabernet Sauvignon dominant, but Carignan and Cinsault are the other two blending grapes. And once again, Moussard was winemaking in Lebanon. Obviously, did not start with Moussard. Winemaking in Lebanon dates to thousands and thousands of years ago. But Moussard is what brought it into the modern era. And so you see a lot of producers that are up and coming that are using the Chateau Moussard model because it was a successful one for them. So why not? It's just there's always got to be the icon winery that gets things started, and then everyone follows.
I love that. Okay, so we're going to finish up with food because we have been talking about food this whole time. Crystal piped in. She's asking your favorite region. I'm going to assume South Africa for Cinsault, but talk to me about food pairings with this style of wine.
I mean, I think South Africa, the Swartland is probably would be my default answer, but I think we need to mention the Itata Valley of the Secano interior in southern Chile, because we're seeing for those of you that are into natural wines, that's what we're dealing with in southern Chile. Very minimalist winemaking, aging in amphora. I saw Mark Rayshap join from Broadbent. They represent a producer called Di Martino, which arguably is who started the Chilean Cinsault movement. Marcelo Retamal, one of the most respected winemakers in Chile. So I think Itata and Swartland in South Africa would be the two that I would direct you towards if you wanted to learn more. And then food pairings, man, I think a burger is a layup for sure, but I like these light red wines with things that I probably wouldn't normally drink red wine with. So like roasted chicken, like richer, creamier pastas that don't necessarily, like a cacio e pepe or something with almost like a butter and pepper sauce. But it's certainly, this will work with a steak. This will work with a burger. I personally like a little bit more weight and tannin and structure with my red wines if I'm going to eat a steak. because if I'm going to eat a steak, it's probably going to be like a ribeye or a New York strip with like a lot of fat. And I want something that will cling to that and help me digest it and enjoy it more.
How about fish? Because you talked about things you drink red wine, like fish. I feel like would be a good, like fish tacos even.
Yeah. Like a cornmeal fried fish taco with like a spicy aioli or salsa, I think would work really, really well. But that's the cool thing is they're so versatile. For us, for me and Allie, it's very seldom that we eat something or drink something without considering how they're going to partner. And so it's seldom that we're eating something rich enough that we need a full-bodied red wine. But these type of wines go with just about everything.
Yeah.
So take some of the guesswork out of the
that's what I feel like when things are easy to drink and they don't carry a lot of like intensity in certain aspects, no intense tannin, no intense like particular flavors, they're just kind of crushable, that it lends itself kind of broadly to whatever you want to eat. And let the wine play second fiddle and supporting actor or actress. And just enjoy your food and crush the wine because it's so tasty.
Yeah, particularly if they're only $15 bottles, right? Then you can afford to drink too.
Amen. Dude, thank you for dropping the Cinsault knowledge. I saw our buddy Mark Rayshap says what's up in the comments. Mark, it's good. Are you talking about that Chile? Mark was talking about that Chilean producer on Facebook, I think. Mark, I need to get some of that wine from you. Mark is another incredible wine professional in the Austin region. Super thankful to have him as a part of our community. Thanks for joining us today. Paul, cheers. Thank you for talking about Cinsault for us today. We're going to bring you back on a little bit later to cheers us out. But it is time to transition, guys. I told you I was going to bring on these incredible special guests. They're coming up on screen. They don't know that I'm bringing them back up on screen. Sarah's texting all of her LA popular friends to let her know that she's on camera. A really cool friend of mine named D. He knows a lot about wine. No, guys, I could not be more thankful. Let me preface this all before I introduce these three beautiful humans that are on your screen. First of all, we meaning my viewers, the folks that are in the comments, the guys and girls and the people who join me every week for 5 weeks, guys, we have been together for 5 weeks. If we were in a relationship spending time together every day for 5 weeks, first of all, that'd probably be my longest relationship.
That's definitely true.
It's not too far from the truth, guys. That hurts a little. But guys, I've loved so much getting to know this community. I've tried to help you get to know me by playing these fun games like this or that. You know that I love Garth over George Strait, that I love Whitney over Mariah, that Sean Connery is a better Bond than Daniel Craig, and that queso will always trump guac. So those are pretty intimate details to know about a human. And I think it's time to take our relationship to the next level by introducing you to my friends. So my viewers, my fans, I love you. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped the L word. Maybe it's a little too early for that.
Too soon.
This is what you do every time, D.
Introduce you to my friends. So without further ado, I am going to drop a chat prompt into the comments so you guys can be thinking about this while I'm introducing my friends. So these friends are joining us to answer questions. So it's going to say that. I don't want to put that up on the screen, do I? I think it's going to cut people up. No, we can still see it. Okay. First up, I'm going to start with my friend Sarah, who I've known since high school. Shout out McNeil Mavericks. Marcus and Emily, who were with us earlier, are also fellow McNeil Mavericks. We are North Austinites to the core. I still have fond memories of AP government class with Sarah when she taught me the difference between a conservative and a liberal for the first time. Yes, it took me that long to learn that. She taught me many other things too, but Sarah is a pretty incredible comedian and writer out in LA. You have likely seen shows that she's been a part of writing scripts for, and is just an all-around incredible human. I love Sarah. She gets back to Austin fairly regularly, and we like to pop in and have little catch-ups. But I can count on less than half of one hand of people that I've known as long as I've known Sarah, who I would still consider friends. So, Sarah, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. God, it's so cool to see this community, and you guys are so cultured. I feel like I'm hanging out with Frasier, like cooler Frasier, right?
It's so crazy that you talked about Frasier. People actually recommended this TV show to me earlier this week because I was like, what else should I be streaming? And I've never seen Frasier. So this is the second time this week. It must be a thing.
I'll tell everyone, season 4 through 6 is the sweet spot.
Hey, I love focus. Well done. Well played. Okay, so next up, we're going to come back to Sarah, obviously, because they're going to be answering some fun questions about me. Next up is Ian. Ian is a really close buddy of mine. I met him in college at Texas A&M University. Gig 'em. Whoop. We are fellow class of 2006. I was best man in Ian's wedding. And love him and his wife and their kiddos, family that I care a ton about. But I've seen a lot of different versions of D. Thompson, I feel like, through the years.
I have photos to walk through all of them if we need to.
Okay, so true story. I'm gonna give you your opportunity here. I'm gonna pull myself off the camera so you can show a little bit of preview.
Oh, gosh, I was made for this. Okay, D. Again, you guys have been dating for 5 weeks. It says a lot more about you than it does him. But D's a guy who, it doesn't really matter what the photo opportunity is. He always finds himself near the center of it. He's also had so many different hair iterations. Don't worry about me here, but him. He looks like a long lost member of NSYNC. He's come a long way. At my own wedding, he found himself in the actual center of our photo. At a formal in college. There again. Anyway, he's a great guy. I have a lot of embarrassing stories, so if you want to put those in the comments, specifically what happens to D when he eats rancid barbecue, anything like that, I can share lots of stories.
Oh my God. You are not allowed to tell the Double Dragon story on camera. But thank you for referring to that. Okay. So I'm properly reoriented. My third friend, who I also love and care tons about, is my friend Fabian, who goes by Fabs, who many may not know, which I guess, first of all, I didn't tell you guys, Ian is a campus pastor at a church in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's what he's doing. He actually moved out there recently from Central Texas. And I say recently, within the last 2 years. Fabs is an incredible counselor, writer, talent manager, and has been a huge part of the Austin Film Festival in previous years. Super talented friend of mine who honestly, like, handful. I mean, you guys are all some of them, but like very few people I'd be like, man, you're legit smarter than me. Like you,
that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, you have a really freaking like impressive psychology degree from a really important university in London that like words that I can't even pronounce. Like,
hey, thanks.
So I think will bring really important insight into my psyche and my issues as we get questions. But
is this it? Are we finally going to do your counseling session like live on your wine live stream?
Maybe this is the time. Maybe in front of everybody, a full audience in front of everyone. Okay, guys, I've been thinking through some really awesome questions, and the first question is quarantine related. We're in a series. I want to start out with one. Would you want to be quarantined with D, and why or why not?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And I need you to be honest. It's okay. I'm in a serious 5-week relationship with these people, and they need to know the real answer. Sarah, jump in. Come on.
Is it? I mean, what's the situation? Do we have our own rooms and bathrooms?
Yes. Let's say we have to share a bathroom.
You know what? Yeah, I would, because D is one of the most curious, fun, cool people ever. He's very self-aware. That's one of my big, as far as a rubric goes, I'd say that's a big part of what I how I decide who I want to be friends with. And D really digs inside himself. So cheers. Yes. That's right.
Aw.
Resounding yes.
That's really nice. I'd probably be a
At
no.
least one quarantine mate.
I'm gonna go no on the quarantine buddy, but not because I don't love D, but because our friendship would not survive it. And I love him so much that if I was eating in the same house as D, I would be panicked and self-conscious because D has a really very extreme issue with mouth noises. And I don't think that I have an issue making mouth noises, but he's so sensitive to it. I just wouldn't want that to be our deal breaker in our friendship, dude.
Fabs, I'm so glad that you are being clear about my misophonia. For the record, this is not like an issue. This is an actual condition, okay?
It's real. I have it.
I think it's a sign of intelligence. Have you heard that? I've read that at least on BuzzFeed.
Hey. Yeah. Ian, how are you feeling about that? I know you also are a mouth noise person. You can't handle mouth noises either.
Oh, no. And having 2 little kids and a freaking crazy dog does not help the mouth noise game in my house. But as far as roommates are concerned, I'm an only child. You are the most independent person I have met in my life. I feel like we would last about 8 minutes before one of us is dead.
Yeah, I feel like that is. I feel like that's pretty. What's the word? Generous time allotment.
We both have strong opinions.
Can I just flag here that Catherine says D makes some crazy mouth noises when drinking wine?
Nice.
Do your own mouth noises not bother you? It's only other people.
So did Janice. It sounds
all the time. You've got some issues already in this 5-week relationship.
I think your fans are calling you a hypocrite, D.
Guys, misophonia is not about being turned off by your own mouth noises. It's being turned off and being annoyed by other people's mouth noises. Okay.
I think there's another name for that.
Ian, back me up on this.
I mean, there are times that I can't stand, I can't eat things. They're ridiculous foods, but corn nuts, I have to be in a certain mood because the explosion and the skull rattling in myself. Anyway, that's me.
Okay.
This is about you, D.
So all that to say is, Sarah, you and I have a future. We could quarantine together. So next virus. Also, if it's at your parents' house, I'm so in because I know you guys have a pool and I could kill for a pool right now.
Ooh, and it's nice when we're up there on the balcony because the way you swish your wine, it's just you make life more fun. D teaches people how to savor life.
Oh, thank you.
D also apparently slurps wine like it's mouthwash.
And those things are not mutually exclusive.
Thank you. You know, some things can be simultaneously true. Okay.
Slurps wine like it's mouthwash. That is gold. Thank you, Anne.
Okay. So I have a second question, and I'm going to need my commenters, my viewers to answer this as well. So I'm putting it in the comments, guys. Question number 2, given that I'm single, what do you think the number one quality that my future spouse has to have in order for the relationship to last, longer than 5 weeks?
It's hard.
That's a big question, D.
This is so serious.
I'll just start because I'm the nerd. Because I've got. So I think that curiosity, because I think D is such a curious person that if the other person didn't have curiosity, D would get bored with them and he'd maybe put her outside.
I think they just need to be all in. D, you are the most all in person I've met in my life. You switch from career change to this is a good glass of wine to now this is your career. They've got to be willing to be flexible, but so passionate.
I appreciate that. Sarah in the comments before Fabs jumps in here, she has to the TP over. Sarah, I'm glad that you have been paying attention this week, guys. There's only one way to do the toilet paper on the roll, and it's definitely over. Rinda says a sense of humor. Catherine Brunderette says sense of adventure and love of travel. I'm so happy right now that I feel like you guys like this is 5 weeks in and we really know each other. This is
Why did
amazing.
you skip over Rick's comment that your spouse needs a good liver?
Oh.
Well, and did you see Anne's comment about a grave to put them in?
Oh, Chris said deaf. Oh,
This is
interesting.
why I love my fans, because they are not afraid to give me crap.
Oh,
He
man.
was like valedictorian of our class for so long. Sorry, I just had to tell some. Oh, sorry.
You're giving away my cool factor. Gosh,
Oh, sorry.
I was so cool until that,
I
Sarah.
think she would have to be.
Cool.
I think she would need to be a little bit like dorky, because Dee's sense of humor is unique. You know, it's like a combination of like a 3-year-old humor and then bathroom humor and then dad humor all mixed into one.
Oh, do you just call me like a 3-year-old dad joke maker?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you like funny animal videos sometimes, but it has to be the right kind of animal, I guess.
I feel that. Also, Pam chimed in. They have to love wine and cookie dough. I'm glad that she put those two things together. This is a true story. If you've seen my Instagram the past week or so, like I've been going ham on a whole roll, a family value size roll of Pillsbury chocolate chip cookie dough, because that is my quarantine situation, and I'm kind of embarrassed to have to cover my mouth when I say it. And I'm pairing it with everything. Last
Wait,
night,
how big is this thing? Family size?
I mean, you can imagine, like this is yeah,
Like we need to make $5 foot long of cookie
yeah,
dough.
exactly. We're gonna make all the inappropriate gestures on camera right now about how large this is. I'm glad to hear that we're on the same page about a lot of these things. So I think I'm gonna go TV or movie character, because I feel like my fans, my viewers here, they're gonna get into this one. I need to know, what TV or movie character am I most like? If you had to like compare me to a TV or movie character, who would I be most like?
That's so hard.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Comments too. I think we're gonna have some good ideas. You guys have gotten to know me for 5 weeks. The folks that I work with, I think, are gonna have some clever answers. TV or movie character? Guys, let's all take another sip of wine while our friends think about that. Happy hour. It's the end of the week.
I mean, should we say David from Schitt's Creek? Is that where we should go? Or
I haven't seen it, so.
Or like one of the characters on Love Is Blind, D. I'm kind of trying to think through all those people.
I know who I'd want to be compared to there.
I know who you would too.
Who?
I can't remember his name.
I'm gonna bring in Rochelle because she's been waving her arms at me. Rochelle, do you have a thought here? Did you want to mention something?
I absolutely do. I think you're Andy from The Office. Straight up. I love it. I love him. I think it's hysterical, and I work with you every day. I absolutely love it.
I hope that's a good thing, guys. I'm gonna be fully honest here. I haven't watched a ton of The Office. Which one is Andy?
Which one is Andy? Oh dear, D.
Yeah. So obviously, Rochelle, guys, is that Andrew Krasinski or whatever?
No,
Bernard. Oh, you mean the real person? Here, can I show it to you so you can see it?
Oh, he's such a cutie.
He's the guy who sings a lot randomly
and doesn't have a clue.
He went to Cornell and he talks about it all the time.
Okay, I'm in for this guy. I can own that.
What about House from House, but only the smart parts and the fun, witty.
And
right?
I have an addictive personality, and luckily I'm not into drugs, but if I was, I'd probably be a pretty hardcore drug addict.
Just a badass. That's what I'm thinking. You're pretty badass.
Hey, I'm in for this, Sarah. You can be my hype person anytime you want.
Sarah, you're very positive.
My dad's a motivational speaker. Maybe that's where it comes.
A really good one too. Ian and Babs, I'm gonna pull in some of these comments while you guys are thinking. Somebody says Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother. Matthew.
Oh, I could totally see that. I could totally see that.
McConaughey and Failure to Launch. Hey, anybody wants to compare me to Matthew McConaughey? I'm here for it. Thank you very much, Martha. We will be friends. Chris says Radar O'Reilly. Thank you for the MASH reference. I appreciate that. Anne says I'd star in Grumpy Old Men. Scott says Mork.
You know that's like Robin Williams, the alien from Mork and Mindy. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Fabs, did I see a hand go up? Are you trying to chime
Yeah,
in?
I think I saw someone say Ross from Friends, question mark. I do think you have Ross-like elements. I also really like the Ted from How I Met Your Mother. I think I'm into that. The part about Ted is like the secret romantic underneath, like looking for the unicorn part. And then with Ross, I can see like your sense of humor being a little Rossish. So
and
I'm into
smart.
it.
And smart, right?
Yeah, both of them.
Shout out to Veronica. Veronica did call me out because I didn't mean the rude part of House. I just meant like the cool part and also the bone structure. Like, you're lucky. You have a nice thin face. I think it's what makes D so popular. His good look.
I wish. You're the first person that's ever told me I have good bone structure, so I'm here for it. Drink some more beer, and I'm gonna drink some more wine, and I'm gonna believe that is true every day of the week. Thank you very much. Somebody says Chet from the Day Tripper. Tony, our winemaker, chimed in with Joe Exotic. Thanks, Tony. Love you. Your wine's delicious.
Oh my God, Anne just said I'm inflating your head. Oh.
It's probably true, guys. Angela says Paul Giamatti's character from the movie Sideways. I don't know. That guy talks crap about Merlot, and I love Merlot. That guy. I'm going to go to Marcus and Emily. I asked them to prepare a question for this segment. So we've gone through the TV character and stuff. First of all, if you would like to chime in on this question, you're welcome to. But if you just want to jump into the question that you have for my friends and our viewers, please go ahead.
Well, I was kind of loving the Ted Mosby. Like that was pretty on point. I liked that one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go watch it because I don't know that character.
That's a great character.
Gee, I feel like you were missing.
Yeah, you could totally binge that show.
Yeah. That's your new show. Forget Frasier for now. You should watch How I Met Your Mother for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Done. Guys, you have me convinced. I'm totally in. All right, Marcus and Emily, what is your question for my friends? Which, by the way, Ian, I know you got cut off from technology for a sec, but if you have a like movie or TV character, feel free to chime in as well.
Do you have a pick, Ian?
Yeah, I said David from Schitt's Creek, but I feel like
that's right.
You had that answer.
So D, I would actually hit up Schitt's Creek first. Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Great show.
So my question is, I'm really curious from each of y'all, if you had to pick D's spirit animal, what would you pick and why?
Wow. I'm gonna pull Marcus and Emily off while you guys, so we can see these folks. Spirit animal.
It's a hard one.
Have another drink. I'm worried about this one.
That's a hard one.
I think there's so many good options that come to mind.
Scott Bozak, Anne's husband, is already in the comments with raccoon.
I was thinking raccoon.
Wait, why?
Because you know that video? I love that video so much, and I can totally see D doing that.
Is it the hands?
It's like, it goes, oh, this is great. Everyone should look this video up after we're done here. But it's, if you Google like raccoon stealing cat's food, basically it goes to the bowl and then it runs away with its legs, like holding the little thing. Also, I was thinking hens, but that's only because I know that D is entertained by them occasionally. I don't know. It's so, you need a high energy animal, I think.
Wow, Rachel's agreeing with you guys. What is up with the freaking raccoon thing? Rachel says so much energy and fiddly and crafty.
Yes, I love it, Rachel. I'm here for this.
Man, maybe you guys know me better than I know myself. I never would have thought raccoon. Catherine Brundrett says dog. That's because I've been like professing my love for dogs for like the past 18 years, 20, however old, 36 years I am old. Anne Sneaky says Anne. Chris says raccoons are nasty and evil and too bold.
Oh, whoa, Chris.
Squirrels seem really smart. Sarah Shingleton. Cool last name.
I could see squirrel as well, yeah.
I always thought squirrels seem really smart. Like that they have like more going on in their heads than most people.
What's good about raccoons and squirrels is they can be like feisty and hyper, but then they can also be chill. And you could imagine them just like hanging out eating, which I could see D doing.
Ian, you want to chime in here?
Oh man, people hate squirrels. Wait, we mean it in the best kind of way. We're coming from a place that like I always wanted a squirrel to like hang out with.
Yeah.
I think squirrels are cool. They're kind of crafty.
The raccoon thing, you could be like a red panda because they do well. They love to scavenge. They love to create their own worlds. But when they find somebody, they settle down.
Whoa.
That's deep.
I wish that were like kind of actively true. Like there was somebody to settle down with, like, hello, single guy over here, red panda. No, I like that it's like the exotic version of a raccoon. You know, it's like still has all the things. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on from this one, and I want to end with this I think is going to be the most fun one, and we're going to finish this up. What game show would I be terrific at, and what game show would I suck at?
Ooh.
And then we're gonna wrap this guy up. And I want to hear from the comments here as well. Happy hour, guys! At the end of the week, this has been a blast, and I'm really excited to hear these answers.
By the way, since everyone I do think your crowd is smarter than like the populace. Drinking a little bit of hard kombucha after beer make me sick, guys? Will you please let me know?
No, I think you'll be good.
Okay. I'll grab it right now then.
Anne says great at Jeopardy and suck at a dating show.
I think it depends on the dating show. I was trying to think about that. I do agree with Anne that you'd be great at Jeopardy. I could see that. We're
going to bring Anthony on because he had a similar comment, and he's laughing on camera. Anthony, what have you got here? And Tony's there too. Bring it, guys. What have you got here?
No, you'd be great at Jeopardy, in fairness. You'd be terrible at Family Feud. You couldn't pick like the top things 100 people said in America to save your life because you think totally different.
That is true.
I'm okay with that.
You would become like the videos they put on YouTube about people like making terrible answers.
I'm in. If it's a viral video, I'm so in for that. Okay, guys, I'm bringing you off. Jeopardy, it seems like pretty much the consensus
I was going to say Jeopardy for the best.
Okay.
I don't know for the worst.
Either Jeopardy or like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, just anything with like, you have to be so confident with the most random freaking knowledge.
Pam says that too. Pam says Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, that I would be really good at that. William says good at the pyramid. Chris is good at Press Your Luck, no whammies.
They think you'd be bad at the dating shows.
I think you wouldn't like Double Dare, maybe. No, you'd be good. I don't know. Maybe I see D with 2 rose-colored glasses.
That's why I love you, Sarah.
I think you might be okay at The Bachelor. You would be truly terrible at The Bachelorette. You would not be like good competing with other guys for a girl. You'd be like, I'm over here. Come talk to me if you want to. But as The Bachelor, that would work because the girls would all come to you.
Hey, I'm in for all the girls coming to me. I'm down for that.
Ooh, I'd love to see you on Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, sign me up.
That would be good.
I am in for that. Wine. Chris Robinson says Wine Jeopardy. I'm totally there. Okay, guys. This has been a stinking treat. I'm going to bring Paul back up alongside all of you. So you guys know that we always have announcements at the end. I have my D's 3 things. And so let's go through those real quick. And then Paul is going to cheers us out for the weekend because it is, guys, we've gone so long. It's Friday. I've had so much fun with this crew of people. Number 1, ain't no party like a William Chris party. I can't say William Chris. So we're throwing our 10th anniversary party tomorrow online right here on Facebook Live at 4 p.m. So you can still get the wine 4-pack that's associated with this party if you're willing to go do curbside at the winery. So go to the winery, get these 4 wines, take a nice drive out to the hill country, pick up these 4 wines, get it in your trunk, and get back home by 4 so you can participate with Chris and Catherine and everybody else. Yes, it does get longer every day, Sarah, and I'm not apologizing. I'm having so much fun all day, every day. Okay, so this, I can't tell you how awesome this party is going to be. There's so many features that we're going to pull in, so many people, stories to be told. It's going to be a big freaking party, so you want to be a part of it, okay? Number 2 are the wines for next week, which I'm going to come back to. because I need to pull that up and paste it in your comments. But you need to know, this is actually the important announcement here, that we have opened just for our wine club members a library shop. Okay, we want you, if you're a wine club member, to go check out our library shop, meaning we have pulled wines out of library, out of unavailability for you to purchase. And I'm going to put the link here in the comments. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. This is the link to the library, and this is specifically for our wine club members. You cannot purchase these if you're not a wine club member. We're going to be drinking wines from the library next week on the show. You want to go do it. So, like, I will also say, if you're not a wine club member and you want access to those exclusive wines, we have a few spots for you. You can still join the wine club on the website. So go do that. Cool. So to end, the number 3 thing I want to tell you are the wines that we're going to drink next week. I'm going to continue to bring my wine industry friends on to teach you. And I want to make sure that you join us for library wines and some stuff that if you're not in the club, you can still order. My computer's going kind of slow. So, Paul, why don't you lead us with a cheers to end today's happy hour? And I'm going to post the wines for next week there.
All right. I think it's just appropriate to cheers to everyone on this planet, because we're all in this together. It sucks, but we're going to get through it. And we all deserve a drink. Cheers.
Cheers. To D Thompson.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks to the William Chris fam. I know you guys have been a part of this today too. Very thankful for y'all. I'll see y'all next week on Monday, but don't forget to join us tomorrow for the virtual tasting, 4:00 right here on Facebook Live. Love you guys.
Happy anniversary to Anne's parents.
Thank you.
Cheers. Who said that? One of his people?